17 January 1976. Prabhupada got out of the car on the main front road. As everybody looked on in great delight, he stepped forward and cut a large ribbon, officially opening the gateway. The formal ceremony over, the metal gates were opened, and he happily walked through the arch and entered the temple compound, followed by a stream of devotees. He moved steadily along the road, past the original thatched hut where he first stayed when he got the land, past flower beds and crops, toward the main building. All the while he was surrounded by the dancing, chanting party of about 20 or 30 young Bengali brahmacharis, all Vaishnavas, heads shaven and decorated with tilak, loudly chanting Hare Krishna. These are all privileged residents of Lord Chaitanya's holy Dham, whose greatest joy in life is clearly the presence of the Lord's pure devotee. Entering the ground floor temple room, Srila Prabhupada greeted the beautiful brass forms Shishi Radha Madhava. Sri Shalagram Shila is also present. Mayapur being one of the few ISKCON temples in which Srila Prabhupada has so far sanctified his worship. This is the beginning of Shalagram worship, Shalagram Shilas. After a lively Guru Puja, Prabhupada gave a short talk describing the benefit of life in the holy Dham. Prabhupada says, it was Bhakti Vinod Thakur's aspiration that the Europeans, Americans and Indians all together dance jubilantly and chant Gaura Hari. So this temple, Mayapur Chandrodaya temple, is meant for transcendental United Nations. What the United Nations has failed, that will be achieved here by the process recommended by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prithvite Achayati, Nagaradi Grama, Sarvatra Prachara, Haibe Mora Nama. So you have come from all parts of the world and are living together in this temple. So train these small boys. I'm very glad, especially to see that small children from all other countries and Indian Bengalis all together, forgetting their bodily consciousness. That is the greatest achievement in this movement. That everyone forgets the bodily conception of life. Nobody thinks themselves here as Europeans, Americans, Indian, Hindu, Muslim, Christian. They forget all these designations and simply they are ecstatic in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So kindly, what you have begun, do not break it. Continue it very jubilantly. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the master of Mayapur, he'll be very much pleased upon you. And ultimately, you will go back home, back to Godhead. Thank you very much. To the cheers of the devotees, he went upstairs to his rooms on the second floor. So just maybe to say a few things about this. Prabhupada's mission is Lord Chaitanya's mission, that everybody gets engaged in the service to Krishna, regardless of Kiva, Vipra, Kiva, Nyasi, Shudra, Kenyanaya, Yei Krishna Tattavete, Sei Guru Hai. That everybody can actually practice Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada used these words many times, in regardless of skin, color, regardless of who you are in the society, which country you're from, which gender you belong to, anybody can be engaged in Krishna service. And Prabhupada says in this commentary on the Hare Krishna mantra, even a dog can chant. He said, even a child and even a dog. So child can also chant Hare Krishna. Dog can also chant barking. Everybody can chant Hare Krishna. So the Hare Krishna movement is so beneficial for everybody. So therefore, we should understand this, and not get carried away by the national pride or I am the Indian. This is our religion. This is not your religion. This is not the religion of Lord Chaitanya, not yours. And Lord Chaitanya gives equal opportunity to everybody. This is our tradition. Yeah, maybe, but this is actually not a traditional movement. This is the movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is a beyond tradition. Lord Chaitanya actually came to break the tradition. Because tradition meant suppression. Suppression, putting down. I am the Brahmana, you are some stupid Shudra, or these are white mlechas. And there's some elements of it still in India, I must say. I was just now in India. When people see us Western devotees, they think, they don't know. This is not their thing. This is our thing. I was born here. One young boy told me something. How did you become this? I said, how old are you? And I asked him, how old are you? And he was 24. I said, I'm chanting Hare Krishna since 32 years. Way before you were born. You have no right to ask me such a question. Rather, I should ask you a question. How much you will dedicate your life to Lord Chaitanya's mission. So, this should not be forgotten. Whoever we are, wherever we are, Ukrainians, we are, Ukrainians. You are not Ukrainian. You are actually, you are a spirit soul who has somehow got opportunity to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should get off to this material conception, because Srimad Bhagavatam says, if somebody is on the material concept of this is my land, this is my things, this is my family, this is my whatever my possessions are, they are considered on the level of cow or ass. Cow, I mean, cows, of course, for us is very sacred animal, but cow is not smart, Just give some food and cow will eat, and there's not really much intelligence there. And ass is even worse. Donkey, just standing there and carry things. You put huge pile and he just very happily carries. So this is the level of a person, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, who thinks I am from this country, I am from that country. So we should not think that way. Because it's ashastric. Hare Krishna, would you like to say something? Anybody like to ask anything about Sa Eva Gokaraha? It's natural, of course, that we gather Russian-speaking devotees to Russian-speaking devotees. I see when I go somewhere and the Yugoslavian devotees, they immediately, he's one of us, speak. Because we speak the language, but we are devotees. But it's again natural. We know we are Oriya devotees. In Lord Chaitanya's time, there were Oriya devotees, there were Bengali devotees, Vrindavan devotees, different devotees gather. But that should not be the guiding principle, because then we have put ourselves on a bodily platform. And then we'll be born again in Ukraine next life. Point is not to be born. We have enough of Ukrainian living. Unless maybe somebody is maybe interested. So, this was Srila Prabhupada. Because this is the message of Lord Chaitanya. So now we'll read from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.6. Kintu Shastri Bhutve Syad. Kintu Shastri Bhutve Syad Bahunamiha Karminam Bahunamiha Karminam Shastritvam Upacharohi Shastritam Upacharohi Yatha Mandalavartina Yatha Mandalavartina Kintu Shastri Bhutvesya Bahunamiha Karmina Shastritvam Upacharohi Yatha Mandalavartina Kintu Shastri Bhutvesya
Kintu Shastri Bahutesya Bahunamiha Karminam Shastravam Upacharohi Yatkamandalavartinam
Mataji.
Kintu Shastri Bahutvesya
Kintu Shastri Bahutvesyat
Bahunamiha Karminam
Bahunamiha Karminam
Shastritvam Upacharohi
Shastritam Upacharohi Yatha Mandalavartinam
Kintu Shastri Bahutesya
Bahunamiha Karminam Shastritam Upacharohi Yatha Mandalavartinam Kintu Shastri Bahutvesyat Bahunamiha Karminam Shastritvam Upacharohi Yatha Mandalavartinam Kintu But Shastri of governors or judges Bahutve in the plurality Syat there may be Bahunam of many Iha in this world Karminam persons performing actions Shastritvam departmental management Upacharaha administration He indeed Yatha just like Mandalavartinam of the departmental heads. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The Yamadutas continued, since there are many different karmis or workers, there may be different judges or rulers to give them justice. But just as one central emperor controls different departmental rulers, there must be one supreme controller to guide all the judges. This is a very interesting verse, also for us. We can speak a little bit about the judgments and ruling, and but also we can speak about the spiritual life. How do we make decisions in Krishna consciousness? Purport. In governmental management, there may be departmental officials to give justice to different persons. But the law must be one, and that central law must control everyone. So there should be one law to control everyone, Prabhupada says. The Yamadutas could not imagine that two judges would give two different verdicts in the same case. And therefore they wanted to know who is the central judge. The Yamadutas were certain that Ajamila was the most sinful man. But although Yamaraj wanted to punish him, the Vishnudutas excused him. This was a puzzling situation that the Yamadutas wanted Yamaraj to clarify. Again, there's nothing wrong with Yamadutas. They know the law, they are very educated, and they are waiting to bring the sinful man to the judgment. But then something happened as this Vishnudutas came and said, hold on a minute. And Yamadutas saw that Vishnudutas are stronger than us. So we have to accept it. This is the first thing. That they realize there's something higher than us. They could have actually said, get lost. But they couldn't because they know they were stronger. So this is the first thing, that Yamadutas realize there's something. They're actually higher beings than us. How is this possible? Because we know in this material world, we are the bosses. So this is the first point in everybody's life in this material world when it comes to Krishna consciousness, that they have to accept there's a boss above me. There's a boss who actually is the ruler of this material universe. And this is God. This is Krishna. So, I remember many years ago, one devotee said, first thing people have to realize that they're doing something wrong. This is the first step to come to Krishna consciousness. Because if you don't think you are wrong, then you'll just keep on doing it. So first thing, realize I'm wrong, something's wrong what I'm doing. And second thing is to accept there's somebody higher than me. And these are the natural steps to actually practice Krishna consciousness. So Yamadutas were wondering, who is this person, who are these people who are stronger than us? How can they decide for us? We are the ones who decide. So when I was thinking this is interesting topic on the court. It's a court system. The Yamadutas is explaining the court system, universal court system. He said there may be other people who do many things and they get judged somewhere else, but there has to be one central judgment, and this is Yamaraj. There's no higher than this. This is the central court. So usually, I was just looking at in the American law court system, there's district courts. District, bezirk, wie sagt man Bezirk? Bezirk. District court, like a local court. And this local courts, you go to the, you steal somebody, you go to the court and they say, oh, you stole it, you pay a fine, or you go to jail 6 days, whatever. This is a district court. And if you are unhappy with your district court decision, then you go to the appealing court. Appealing means appellation. One more time, he says, well, I don't agree with this court. And there's 13 different courts throughout the state who actually decide, is he unjustly treated? And then above this, if you pass this court, you say he's unjustly treated, then he appeals to the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court is the final, that's it. Whatever Supreme Court decides, that's it, that's the law. So in the same way, we have also, actually in the Manu Smriti, there's description of different things, how to actually judge, how does court look like. And there were different divisions also, different courts. And the first court is a family court, which is interesting to me. Because families are, in India at that time, bigger, not like 4 people, but maybe 20, 30 people, maybe half a village or one village is the same family. So there should be family court, because in the family court, the decisions are made with sensitivity. Like now you do something, you go to the court, they don't know you, they said, oh, you stole it, give 50, whatever, you go to jail. But if you steal something in a family court, in a family, they said, oh, 2 years ago he stole from him, so he is some, there's some history behind it. So it makes sense to have a little family court. And this doesn't go beyond, this is just amongst us. We deal things amongst us. So each village had a, elders. We know in Krishna book also, when they decided there's too many demons in Gokula, what should we do? So who came? The elders, Upananda, Nanda, and few other elderly people. And they're making the decision. This is, Upananda thought, this is too much disturbance, let's go to Vrindavan. This was his judgment, his elders. This is how it works. And then more courts, more, and only the higher cases, they come to the king. And how does king judge also? He takes the sword and he said, come here. No, he doesn't. King actually sits there, and king is obliged to have 3 brahmanas. So 3 brahmanas actually there who actually know the law of the Manu. So when the person comes with a case, they advise king, this is a good thing, this is not good thing, and they advise king how to act. But king has to act. Because it's ultimately the kshatriya has to make decision. Which is pretty interesting enough. It is said actually in the Manusmriti, the kshatriya, as we know, Prabhupada quoted many times, gets 1/4 of the, what is it? 1/6 of the pious credits of the citizens, if he protects the citizens. Imagine. It's pretty good, ching ching, ching ching, you just sit there and then you get 1/6 of a benefit. Not bad. So in the same way, temple president gets 1/6 of the benefit of the devotees. Ching ching. But if the so okay, they get it 1/12 or whatever, But the point is that if the king protects the citizen, he gets this. But if the king does not protect, it says here, king who duly protects his subject receives from each the 6th part of their spiritual merit. 6 of each person. If he does not protect them, the 6th part of their sinful act will also come on him. Imagine 1/6 of every person if you don't act properly. It says here in the Manusmriti, king who endeavors to punish the thieves, his fame grows and his kingdom prospers. His fame grows and his kingdom prospers. So this is important. This is instruction by the duty of a leader is not just to be on a position, but the duty of a leader is actually to paritrana sadhunam vinashacha dushkritam, to protect the devotees and to punish the non-devotees. Not to punish, temple person walks around with a stick, you're not devotee, beat him with the leg, But actually to protect his devotees from the influence of the non-devotees. Because, when I was reading these verses and yesterday and today, what is the need of all these rules? What is the need of rules? punishments. What is the need of punishment? The need of punishment is to purify oneself. Srila Prabhupada many times mentions that, when somebody kills somebody, the king's duty is to kill this person. And the reason is not that we should kill people. The reason is because that person will get purified immediately. When you get killed, you get purified, of course. When we cut our hands, we get purified. It's a purification, we call it. So when somebody gets killed, this is the ultimate purification. You purified your whole body.
I heard this killer, so big purification, he can even go to heaven.
Yeah. Translate.
Я слышал, что если казнят убийцу, он так ощущает, что даже в ране.
So it's important to punish, equally important as to protect. And therefore, king needs advisors. King cannot act alone. He acts and he thinks, oh, I should actually do this. Although king is also educated in the Shastras, he needs brahmanas as advisors, because brahmanas are in the mode of goodness. King is in the mode of passion. You see how Maharaj Parikshit acted. Of course, this is for the sake of Leela. But he acted very irrationally. Oh, you don't give me food, snake. This is kshatra, this is passion, mode of passion. But Brahmanas would not. Brahmanas would think, Hare Krishna. I'm not worthy of darshan of this great sage, so Hare Krishna. Brahmanas are supposed to be impassionate, not passionate. And Prabhupada says here, therefore, the whole Vedic civilization is meant for making people Brahmana. And why? Not to keep him in ignorance. So basically, the whole Vedic civilization is meant for purification, and in this life, I may be whatever, Shudra or Mlecha, and they do a little bit purifications in the next life, and one day I come to the level of Brahmana and actually be qualified to understand spiritual knowledge. He said, not that he keeps him in the position of Shudra. The whole, Prabhupada says, existence, one can be elevated to the highest grade of existence. But Shuddhanti, purification. There's this famous verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I remember we were reciting this when I was Bhakta, and I still remember this verse. Kirata hunandra pulinda pulkasha abira shamba yavana kasada yanecha papa tadapashe ashara Shuddhanti. Tasmai Shri Prabhu Vishnave Namah. Shuddhanti means purified. By purifying all these races, Kiratas, Hunas, Pulindas, all these lower outcasts, they can be Shuddhanti, purified by worshipping the Lord. So this is the reason of purification. There's no evil plan behind it. Oh, you steal, I will kill you. Krishna is thinking, oh, he's stealing, let me cut his head, whatever. It's actually meant to purify a person to come to understanding that he or she or it is a spirit soul. Prabhupada says, by nature, the constitutional position, every living entity is pure as God. We become impure. Therefore, there is suffering. So an impurity can be rectified in this life because human life is meant for purification. Therefore, so many scriptures are there, so many teachers, so many rules and regulations. They are not meant for animals, Prabhupada says. Because the animals cannot be purified by knowledge. Animals have to be purified by suffering or by... Prabhupada says, they must have come to the position by evolution of human being. Then there's a chance for the ultimate purification. So this is the reason. This is the reason of all the punishment in the material world. Because I was thinking, why there's so much punishment, so much suffering? The punishment is there to purify a person, a living entity. And Krishna said, Prabhupada says, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in 6th canto, there is no difference between the laws of nature and laws of God. Laws of nature means laws of God. Maya dyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena konteya jagad viparivartate. Krishna says that this material nature works under my protection. And under its rule, this manifestation is created, annihilated again and again. So there's the rules. It's Bhakta rule. Rule is there meant to works under the direction of Krishna. So therefore in the material world there's all kinds of rules, laws of karma. Prabhupada says, if people are opening unnecessary many slaughterhouses, killing innocent animals, then there'll be war and people will be killed in masses. And so Prabhupada says this can be seen as a reaction to their sinful activities. So the rules of the, Manu, you can say, the rules of the material world are meant there, as I said last time, to protect Dharma. All of the rules are made to protect Dharma. Because Dharma should be executed for stopping this material conditional life. So if we follow these rules, how to conduct ourselves in the material world according to the Vedas, we actually will uphold our Dharma. And it will be actually easier for us to understand the spiritual knowledge. And Prabhupada says, what is Dharma? And he gives this Pavarga. There's a Pavarga. And Prabhupada says this, Pa means labor, Pa means Phena, so many forms come out of the mouth. So somebody works so hard in the material world, the foam comes out of his mouth. And they're still confused. Prabhupada uses this. And Bha means always in fear. Bhaya. And Ma means death. So Prabhupada says, Bha, Ma. Dharma means to stop this Pa, Ma, and Da. So to stop hard labor, to stop this foam coming into our mouth, to stop fear, to stop confusion, and ultimately to stop death. This is the purpose of Dharma. And these are the purpose of these laws. And interestingly enough, in the Manu Samhita, I'm not an expert of, but what I read a little bit, there are different judgments for different levels, Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, and Shudra. Because the other different people understand it in different, understand the laws in different way. But particularly, they're very lenient to the Brahmanas. If Brahmana does something, they just said, instead of killing a Brahmana, they just prosecute him to another country. Because first of all, Brahmana is sacred, you cannot kill Brahmana. And second of all, Brahmanas should have enough intelligence to understand this. So there are different levels for different people also,
разные уровни для разных людей.
which makes also everything more personal,
Но вместе личностно,
which is much more organic, you can say.
более органично.
So, what is the rule? What is the rule of for a devotee or Hare Krishna devotee?
Что за правило для Харе Кришны?
Prabhupada explains when somebody is becoming devotee,
Если кто-то становится
it is automatically outside of the jurisdiction of Maya.
выходит из-под юрисдикции Майи.
This devotee belongs to Krishna immediately.
Принадлежит Кришне.
Not bad. But Prabhupada says, devotee said, when it says duty, does that mean that you don't have to do anything at all? Devotee said. Because when you're a devotee, you don't have anything to do because you belong to Krishna. Prabhupada says, no, if Krishna orders, we shall do.
Если Кришна приказывает, мы должны.
So devotee is not free from now, okay, I'm a devotee now, I can do whatever I want, because it's for Krishna.
Правило преданного, все могут делать, что захочет.
But Prabhupada says, no, we have to do things because not according to our own whims.
Должно следовать правилам, не действовать по собственному воображению.
It is ordered, we have to do things ordered by Krishna. If Krishna orders something, this is not wrong. So it's a different kind of a level of understanding, justice and injustice, morality and immorality. Because if Krishna orders something, then we have to do it. Krishna ordered Yudhishthira to lie. I cannot imagine that Yudhishthira never lied a whole life, not lied once. Not once, Who did not lie not once? In this world, I don't think there's a single person. Yudhishthira did not lie. And Krishna said, you should lie. So Yudhishthira was, how can I lie? This is adharmic. Krishna is Dharma personified. He is asking me to follow the Adharma. Krishna says, no, you should lie. Because this lying is the higher principle. So we do in the Hare Krishna movement, we do so many things that we will never actually do. Stand on the street and sell books. Excuse me. I have a book. I said no. And you were like, oh. As Prabhupada was telling yesterday, what did you say? That this person met you after 20 years and he said, you're still doing this low work, you're selling on the market, you're still doing this low class work. And he said, everybody in a company, you make progress. In the beginning, maybe you do it low class, but later on you become a little chef. But for Krishna, we do this, lowest class. Because this is what Krishna likes. So many things, when I was thinking, what would we do for Krishna? This is amazing, all this. I would never do these things. And even now, first this clothes, to wear this clothes. I would never wear clothes like this, for sure. I don't know, maybe you will, but I don't think I will wear clothes like this. Shave head, I don't think I will shave head. All these things, tolerating all kinds of things. For Krishna, we do it for Krishna. Because whatever Krishna wants, this is the ultimate good. This is the ultimate morality. So therefore Prabhupada says, if Krishna orders, we shall do it. Prabhupada says, Krishna says, you do this. And we have no consideration whether material calculation, is it good or bad. We don't even think, is this good now or bad or... No, I'll just do it because Krishna wants me to do it. There was this sometimes in the 1970s, there was this famous situation. It is described in Prabhupada's letters and conversations and memories, that some devotees start rebelling a little bit about book distribution. Why are we harassing people on the street? People are disturbed by our book distribution. What are you selling? They're selling something. So they decided not to distribute books anymore. This later on became a different movement, actually. They were going in long hairs, and they're still going with guitars and playing Haribol on the street. And but Prabhupada says, spiritual master has ordered, this has to be followed. He said, whether public like it or not. And he said, I blindly follow my Guru Maharaj. I did not know I was going to be successful or not. He said, go to the West and preach. I went to the West. I have no personal likings and dislikes. So, but Prabhupada says, we cannot do it on our own account, our own whim. So then we get implicated. You know, implicated? Entangled. He says, don't think that now we are Krishna conscious, we are Krishna's persons, we can do anything. I'm devotee of Krishna, that's okay. I just chant Nrsimhadev and it's okay. Prabhupada says, just like a policeman, if he thinks I'm a government's man, I can do whatever I like. That is wrong. He cannot do this. Only by Krishna's order you can do. So now just a little bit about what will happen when devotees think I'm a devotee, I can do certain things, illegal things concerning Krishna consciousness. I can break a little principle here and there, and I can do a little this and that. So Prabhupada, there's a famous story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita when it's called Gopinath Patanayaka story. And this Gopinath has stolen some money from the Muslim government. Basically it was a tax evasion, you can say. You know, smart people, they know how to do this. He was earning some money, but he was putting some money aside. So the Muslim government figured it out. So they said, well, let's kill him. You know. This was the judgment. Actually, it wasn't Muslim government, but it's a long story. Let's just put it this way. So they put him on this horrible thing called Changa. A Changa is like you have a platform, and you stand on the platform, and underneath are swords. So they open the platform, you fall on these swords. Horrible. You know, if you would just in the heart or something, but you just pierce through here and you just probably sit alive for a long time, you know. It's a horrible thing, Changa. So he was condemned to Changa, Gopinath. So devotees were like, oh my God, you know, he's devotee of Lord Chaitanya, what to do? So they ran to Lord Chaitanya and said, Gopinath will be put on Changa. Lord Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Not interested. And Lord Chaitanya said, 4 times they came to me. And Lord Chaitanya said, why are you bothering me with this thing? With these materialistic things? You know? Of course, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, I was thinking about Gopinath. Gopinath was saved. But the point there was, Lord Chaitanya said, this time Lord Krishna was merciful to Gopinath. But next time, if he does something, he'll be definitely punished. So Krishna maybe even protect our foolishness at least once, but after some time we have to suffer the foolishness. When this devotee was traveling with Lord Chaitanya as a personal servant, Krishnadas, imagine your personal servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I mean, pretty ecstatic, you know. So what happened? He went to some village, there was some gypsy people, Bhattataris, and he fell down with some women and left and stayed there. So Lord Chaitanya was supposed to go further, and then he was like, where's Krishnadas? You know, Krishnadas hanging with the Karmi women, you know, low-class Karmi women. So the Lord Chaitanya went and took him by the hair. Said, get out of here. And of course, Bhattataris attacked him, and Lord Chaitanya's, you know, made by mystic powers, all these knives turned back and stabbed the attacker. But the point here is the Lord Chaitanya saved him. And still traveled with him. When he arrived to Puri, he came to Lord Nityananda and he said, take this, I don't want to see this man anymore. I saved him, now get out of here. So meaning that we have to understand that we are not above the law. Although we are above the law. So devotees are above the law, but at the same time, not above the law. You know, now we go to the store and we just see, oh, there's enough nice halva, sesame halva, and I take it, you know. And this Arab owner, you know, where are you going? You know, where are you going? Because I'm a devotee of Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. You know, all this material, Jagat Viparivarte, the whole material universe, Brahmano Hipratishtaham. No, we are not above the law. Krishna may excuse a little bit here and there. But ultimately, if we start breaking the laws of the material nature, we'll have to suffer under these laws. You know, we can think, okay, I can drink a little coffee, nobody sees it, you know. It's cold, you know, and I'm tired. Drink a little coffee for the brain, gets the brain going, you know. Yeah, maybe forgiven a little bit a few times, but we'll have to suffer the consequences. We'll have to suffer the consequences. Because we see Krishna is very merciful. Lord Nityananda is very merciful. In Hindi, you know, there's a one expression when we do bargain something and you say, is it 35 or 40 or no, I give you 35, no, I give you 40. And then the man said, chalega, chalega. Chalega means, let's just go. So Krishna also says, chalega, you know, whatever, we all fallen, you know, Lord Nityananda doesn't see the faults, just take this guy, look at this guy, take him, you know. But at the same time, we cannot take this advantage of it. We should not take advantage. Because if we take advantage, then we will have to be punished by the law of karma. To teach us a lesson and to get purified. You see, Krishna says here in the Bhagavad Gita, Api chet sutaracharo, bhajate mamananya bhak sadhureva samantamyam samyak vyavasito hi saha. Prabhupada says, Krishna will protect a devotee who does something sinful accidentally. So the question, how can you do something accidental? How can it be sinful accidentally? It's possible. You do some foolish thing, from your past karma, some sinful thing comes back to you. Like Subari Muni meditating in the river Yamuna, and then he saw fishes, and he got sexually attracted. Who is sexually attracted by fish? Nobody. But because of the karma, previous karma, so he got some fall down, whatever. But this is excused quickly. We all, fall in this age of karma. But we should not take advantage of it. Prabhupada says, if a devotee or so-called devotee purposefully commits sinful activities continually, in the hope that Krishna will give him protection,
то Кришна уже перестает.
Krishna will not protect him.
Уже больше не перестает.
So therefore we have a seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of the holy name. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kali Kera Kibe Yadina Dibe Rajadana. Jagannath has saved Gopinath Patanayaka from being killed today. But if he commits the same offense again, who will give him protection? Meaning Jagannath will not give you protection next time. So this is an interesting point here. So I actually while I was looking this, I found an interesting quotation from the Prabhupada's letter to Suchandra, which is Bhakti Bhushana Maharaj. This is written 1970. He says, interestingly enough, everyone should chant on beat 16 rounds a day without fail and follow the regulative principles strictly. These basic Krishna conscious duties are essential to be performed regularly. And they will give you necessary strength to be always fixed in devotional service. As soon as devotees regularly engage in this way, Krishna will reveal the whole spiritual science from within the heart of such a sincere devotee. So this is why we follow the rules, you know. We are above the rules of the material nature, theoretically, but we have to follow some rules, and these are the rules of Bhakti. These are the 4 regulative principles, chanting 60 rounds and engage in devotional service. And therefore, Prabhupada says, Krishna will, within the heart, he will give the necessary strength and intelligence how to actually make progress. And then he said to further in Bhakti Bhushana Maharaj, it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that devotional service is so powerful, even if devotee occasionally falls down from the standard, there is no loss. If he is sincere, he will automatically rectify, and Lord Krishna will purify him from within. So this is another thing. Even if devotee who follows strictly somehow slips up, Krishna will rectify him from the heart, and there'll be some purification. But devotees will continue, because it is in interest of Krishna to devotee to make advancement. What's the interest in Krishna that you get punished? No interest. But the interest in Krishna that you should make advancement, and to make advancement you need a little bit purification. So we have it very easy. Very, very easy as devotees. Which is very nice. Krishna is very merciful. And ultimately, for the end, devotees actually are perceiving the material world and laws of the material world from the philosophical point of view. So this is when you were mentioning yesterday that Dhruva Maharaj was attacking yakshas because one yaksha killed Dhruva's brother. So Kshatriya get so angry and he wanted to kill the whole race of yakshas. This is such a Kshatriya thing. I could relate many times like this. Whole yaksha, I'll kill everybody. So he started doing this, killing everybody. So everybody can say, "Oh, hold on a minute." All the sages can cool down. Cool down. You killed some. It's enough. You don't need to kill all these innocent people. Because he was killing villages and everything. But interestingly enough, he did not get punished for it. He just said, yeah, you should cool down, because, my dear son, those yakshas who are descendant of Kuvera are not actually the killers of your brother. And now the second part, the birth and death of every living entity are caused by the Supreme. Because He is the cause of all causes. So devotees actually, you can say, avoiding punishment or by gathering knowledge, by gathering understanding of Krishna consciousness, by learning the philosophy. And therefore, in our society of Krishna consciousness, we should actually be a society of Brahmanas, Prabhupada wanted. Because in the society of Brahmanas, we know what is right, what is not right. We don't need somebody to beat us, Ha! You're doing wrong. No, this is wrong, because it's not philosophically correct. It's not okay to steal. You cannot steal. How can I steal? It doesn't belong to me. Om Purnamada Purnamidvam Purnas Purnamidachid. Everything belongs to Krishna. Ishavasyamidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Zagajam. We take whatever Krishna gives us. We don't take somebody else's property. We don't steal property. So this is the society of Brahman. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Like you mentioned, for different levels of people, different judgment. And I heard history, there was Brahmana, Kshatriya and Shudra. They doing same sinful activity, same, but they getting different punishment.
Yes.
For Brahmana, enough to say personally,
Yes.
like alone, you do it wrong.
Yes.
It's enough for Brahmana. For Kshatriya, present people, but because for him ego is very important. And society, you do this and that. And for him there's big punch, because he's fame down. And there was Shudra, and punishment for him was a bucket, big bucket with stool, urine, and put him. And sometimes by
So he has to go underneath it.
No, like this. Sometimes, and he must put
to service. Yes.
And this Shudra, and this was like some car and driving streets, the city for everybody, looking for everybody. And he was like work normal. And in one place he saw his son. He told this moment when not. My dear son, tell mother little bit.
I'm a little bit late.
I will be home a little bit late. Let mother to cook something. I'm just enjoying the moment.
Yeah, this is of course, this is much more complicated, the whole judicial system, Vedic judicial system is much more complicated. I was looking a little bit about Manu Samhita and so much things, how to actually do, if this happens, that happens, there are 18 different ways of breaking the crime, and there's each crime, what kind of judgment you bring, and there's all this thing. It's much more complicated, and I'm sure there's much more than that, which we are not, this is not the purpose of our existence here, but just to know that in Vedic society there is system of judgment, because not everybody is on the level of Brahmana. So as our society will grow, I'm sure you know, in 2000 years from now, there will be, you know, cities, the Hare Krishna cities,
То есть
and there will be need for judgment,
если у нас будет
you know, for the court.
Харе Кришна города,
Somebody does something wrong, bring him to the court.
суды, вот надо прийти.
And because these are meant to keep the society peaceful.
Это сохранить общество умиротворенным.
But the main issue for us is that we understand we are
Самое главное, что мы должны
not anymore, you know, we are not punishable by Maya, we are punishable by our own foolishness.
Мы не наказываемся майей, мы наказываемся нашей глупостью.
Yes. Anything else, Mataji? По-русски, да, я как нибудь безценно, да.
Не знаю, что Всевышним законом Вселенной является милосердие. Оно выше всяких законов.
I know higher law of universe is mercy.
Ну, всегда ли это уместно, потому что вот из истории мы знаем, что Махараджа Парикшит пощадил Кали, ну это понятно, Игорь Кришна, так должно было случиться, век Кали должен был наступить. Но в наше время...
Но is it always this merciful must be for everything, like in this case with Maharaj Parikshit, he forgive person of Kali?
Это Игорь Кришна. Кали-юга должна была наступить, тут понятно. Но...
Кали-юга must will come.
Но сейчас, допустим, очень часто людей судят в суде присяжных.
But now often people judgment in court.
И, как правило, там приговоры выносятся скорее основываясь на эмоциях.
This day, the judgment, foundation of judgment is just sentiments.
Таким образом, у нас психические больницы все больше и больше становятся психобольных. Понятно, что в Векале очень часто, на самом деле, людей страдает психика, но не лучше было бы им скорее отмучиться, чем вот на такие длинные годы и мучить других, и бюджет государства тоже получает.
And usually these courtyards send these people, like they consider this just crazy. They send them a crazy house. Maybe better will be just punished, seriously punished, then it will be better. Because a lot of crazy people house.
Yes. There was a comment or what a question? There was a question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not, you know, we don't have a, you know, we are just 10 people sitting in the room. You know, when the situation is reversed, you have 10 non-devotees and everybody, 4 million devotees, that's a different story. You know. So I don't know, the German court law, you know, this is, you know, but the point is that the people have to be purified. People have to be purified. And therefore, even in our ISKCON society, we have some sort of punishment. If somebody does something wrong, we don't let him to sit on Vyasasan. They have a temple for both. You know. So the bigger sinful act, the bigger temple for both that person has. You know, this person is not allowed to, whatever, be a temple president, for example, if they've done this and this and that. So some kind of system of purification or punishment, because also by this we preserve the purity. if the person kills somebody, they say, oh, he's crazy, and he's happily living there, he's actually not crazy at all. He's not getting purification. So the whole thing is to get purification. But we cannot speak right now because we are a very, very small society. You know. Once we have if you have 50,000 devotees in one city, then it's a different story. Right now we cannot, because the whole thing will be different, the society will be different, the world will look differently, and now we cannot speak about this stuff. We are too small for this. But in our own small community we can at least institute some kind of rules. You know, if somebody continuously comes in miniskirt to the temple and says, could you actually dress better? So this is what we do. And if they still continuously do that, then you say, well, you cannot come anymore unless you change your clothes. Something like this. This is in our own small way. We are executing some kind of court, temple court. Yes, Prabhu.
I heard somebody ask Prabhupada, what we will do if you get this level, like influence the government. Prabhupada said, first of all, we stop slaughterhouse. It's very simple. This was first our law. Stop close slaughterhouse.
Yes. Yeah, there's a letter of Prabhupada who wrote to Indira Gandhi. How many? He has I don't know how many 8 points that he wanted her as the president of India to institute, to make it. First is the closed slaughterhouses. I don't know exactly, but second one is to close the brothels, prostitutes. And one of the points also is that every government officer, every beamta, half an hour of kirtan daily. Imagine, all these beamta, job center, they have to hold 30 minutes. 30 minutes kirtan. This is what Prabhupada meant should be the rule. And some other points, but Prabhupada made these points. Okay, what do you like? Yes.
You said in your lecture, we must fulfill the will, desire of Krishna. How we can know desire?
Yes. This is actually, I didn't speak much about this point, but this is, we don't have so much time. But this is also how we follow the rules. That we have a person who is in charge of us. Authority. Nowadays they call it mentor. This is a new word, mentor. He's my mentor. But mentor means that somebody actually oversees your activities. And then when you say, I want to, become Bharatnatyam dancer, and you ask your authority, and your authority said, I don't think this is a good idea. And he said, okay, I think you should better, be cook. So in this way we know what Krishna wants us. Prabhupada says, we ask 3 brahmanas a question, and then we'll see what do they say. The best, I think, always is you ask devotees who don't like you. What do you think I should do? Because if you ask devotees who like you, they said, you know, they know you, you're a good singer, although you're not a good singer, they say, you are right. But devotees who are neutral, or even who don't like you, they will tell you. You should, you should go out and, do this and go to Iceland, And you're like, but then, this is maybe what Krishna really wants me to do, There's this famous story when there was a big disturbance in ISKCON in the 1970s, I'm not sure, 5 or 6, I think. It is described, in the several, memories of Prabhupada. There was a dispute between Grihastas and Brahmacharis. Brahmachari said these Grihastas are just stopping the mission of Lord Chaitanya. And Grihastas, I think, meant these Brahmacharis behaving like thieves. Because every time the Radha Damodar buses, there are the 5 buses, they go to a temple. When they leave, half of the kitchen is missing. And half of the devotees are missing. They convince everybody, what are you going to stay here, get married? One devotee told me this. He was like this. He said, they came to me, sannyasi, said, you want to stay here, get married? And he said, no, come with us. They were okay. So they just clean up the temple. Temple is empty, Kitchen stuff missing, devotees missing. They're like. So the Grihasta said, this is too much, And the Brahmachari said, you are too much. So, there was a whole case against unmarried women. They should be sent to Australia. There was a whole plan. They wanted to rent a boat and put all unmarried women to send them to Australia. It was a very serious situation. So they said, let's make it, bring it to the ultimate judge, Prabhupada. So they presented a case to Prabhupada, and Vinayadi presented a case to Prabhupada. Prabhupada was listening, not saying anything, just listening the other case. Which again, this is the ultimate judge. Prabhupada, in our case, in ISKCON, Prabhupada is the ultimate judge. So Prabhupada was saying nothing. And then one morning, Harisori Prabhu was a servant of Prabhupada. He went to the room of Tamal Krishna Goswami. And because Tamal Krishna Maharaj was the leader of the Radha Damodar Brahmacharis. So Harisori, I heard this from Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he was narrating. He was knocking the door, and Tamal Krishna said, come in, and he saw Harisori. And he says, no, Harisori didn't say anything. But Tamal Krishna knew. He said, no, I'm not going. He didn't know what it was, but he knew something. He said, Prabhupada is calling you. And he knew something is going on. Because day before, Prabhupada was talking to Tamal Krishna. And Tamal Krishna said, Prabhupada, everybody's against me. I want to preach and this and that. And I don't know, what should I do? Should I go away? Should I go to China or something? Where should I go? Because at that time, China was like a Russia, Iron Curtain. There was nobody who went to China ever. So going to China means going to the end of the world, So when Harisori came, Tamal Krishna told, no, I'm not going. He just remembered this. So he came to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada says, I thought about this, what you said about China yesterday. It's a very good idea. I think you should go to China and preach. And Tamal Krishna was, but Prabhupada, how can I go? Radha Damodar depends on me. And Prabhupada became angry. And he said, Radha Damodar does not depend on Tamal Krishna Goswami. Radha Damodar depends on Radha Damodar. Because that is deity of Radha Damodar. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj has to accept him. So Prabhupada went to the balcony, and all the devotees came waiting for Prabhupada in the morning. So he came with Tamal Krishna, I think he even embraced, and he said, we have a news. Tama Krishna Maharaj is going to China, Haribo! And everyone's like, Haribo! So this was the ultimate judgment. So sometimes, we have to ask our authorities, but ultimately devotees will tell us what's the best situation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Herculean task of translating. I know it's difficult to translate.